Bueno, esto es un juego de terror psicológico.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 4.
Ya te lo digo yo, Gano. Un tipo que trabajaba y pues, claro, se olvidó de su familia, qué sé yo, Gano, algo pasó, no sé. No sé. Y este es mi sitio de trabajo. Ok. Tengo más como audífono.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Y la demás gente. Me dijo left. Right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautiful he wasn't 5 years ago.
Vale. El forno, cabrón. A ver. Uy. Se me cura esta mierda ahorita. Hostia, me caigo. Espérate. Vengo por aquí. No. Me bajo por aquí.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Cabrón, él me está contando algo, pero es que yo no tengo... No me deja...
Not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Hello, amor.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yo me estoy dando llevar el carro, ¿vale?
This is a very sad story about the death of a...
Cabrón, ¿para qué no tengas que ver tanta mierda? El viejo le está explicando que de la vida de él, que la esposa no lo ama, que si pito, que si está perdiendo la vida trabajando. Ya está, cabrón, jodiéndolo mentalmente.
Upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yo no me ha pasado y me caí. Te lo juro. ¿Vale?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Hola, hola a todos, hola. Hola, 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 hola. Mira el impulsar, cabrón.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? It's
No, cabrón, ya está mejor de
2
memoria.
minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Ya está.
It's
Vamos,
your time
Dios.
to shine. You are the
Está
star. It's your
aquí,
story now.
Dios
Shape it to your
está
heart's
aquí.
desires.
Que yo
Oh,
hice.
this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Adiós, me voy. Bye, ya está, no quiero saber de esto.